So what Lunch with the Boxer is it's a chance for you all to learn a little bit more about some specific topics at Pacific. So typically we'll bring in a speaker to kind of go through general information about a program or a thing that they do here on campus. That'll usually go on for about 15 or 20 minutes of them kind of talking and presenting, maybe giving you some information or some areas to click in and learn about. And then we open it up for questions. We will also, throughout the spring, have an admissions counselor, and typically we'll also have financial aid hopping in pretty frequently because we know those are questions that come up a lot and you may want some updates, or we might have some important dates to let you know about. So we'll be joining those specific topics throughout the spring. We are going to be taking a break next week as it is Pacific spring break. So the admissions office is a little bit busy with visitors to campus. If you'd like to come say hi, we'd love to see you. But just know we also have quite a few visitors already on the docket. So you may be meeting other future classmates. And then after spring break, we'll be having different groups come in and speak at these Lunch with the Boxers. So they're going to be happening Wednesdays at noon. You'll get a link, but it's the same link every time, which is very convenient. And we will send you a list of all of the topics that are being covered. And again, we do record them and put them onto our YouTube channel so that families can go in and listen to it later or follow up on a specific question they might have. And when we have somebody come in, we will also include their contact information and any links that they talk about along with those recorded videos. We'll have things like academic advising coming in and talking about credits and how those are going to transfer in and what the advising process looks like over the summer. Financial aid will periodically be hopping in and telling us important dates or big new announcements that are coming up or questions that you might have. We're going to have sessions on how to get a job on campus and what that might look like freshman year. Studying abroad, the Health and Counseling Center, and like living on campus as a student, eating the meals, and what that's going to look like on your bill and as a student here on campus. So again, we'll send you out the specific list of here's exactly what's going to happen on what each week. But just kind of know after spring break, you'll be able to hop on, be able to get some specific topics covered. And if you can't make it and you see something that you're like, ooh, I really have a question about this one, or I really wish I was there, I can't get to the residence life, but my student has some questions about living in this building or this specific situation, you can always email them to your counselor or directly to me at derek.n@pacificu.edu. And we'll make sure we read those questions live during the sessions and they'll get those answers on there. We'll also typically follow up with you and just say, hey, here's the answer to your question. Here's the contact person in that office. But sometimes you might not be the only family thinking about it. You might have a couple of questions that are out there that you go, hey, this is something really important to me. And it turns out there's 12 other families who have that same question. They just weren't ready to ask it yet. So that's why we will also read those aloud during the sessions. The other big thing to know is we'll record the main part of each Lunch with the Boxer. So that's going to be kind of when we're giving the general presentation, maybe a couple general questions. And at the end of each one, we will also turn off the recording, and the admission staff and that speaker will be around for a little while because sometimes there might be a specific situation that you have or your student has that maybe everybody else doesn't need to know, but you really need that answer to a question. And the admission staff will be here to help answer those questions or get you the specific contact here at Pacific that's going to help with you. So thank you all so much for joining Lunch with the Boxer. Today is going to be giving you a few updates from a couple of different places across campus, giving you some next steps to go through, and then, of course, leaving it open to answer any questions that you might have. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Brant to give us a little bit before he gets to go talk to another group on campus.
Awesome, Derek. Thanks for that great overview. Hello, everyone. It's good to see who I can see. And it's good to see some names that I recognize of other people. I am an admissions counselor. For 5 years, I was a basketball coach here at the university. And now I get to help all students, not just the good hoopers, get here to Pacific. So I help students from Multnomah County, Southern California, and the Sacramento areas. And I get to remind you to check your email. So that is a major step. We will be sending out all sorts of updates. We just send them out to admitted students. We send them out to deposited students. Hopefully you've deposited. If you haven't, we can get that done. But let us know if you have questions and feel free to reach out anytime to your admissions counselor. I know they'll get to introduce themselves also. But if you are in Southern California, Sacramento, or Multnomah County, feel free to reach out. As you know, all the contact information is on our website. I'm happy to set up a Zoom call or a phone call. Don't fax me because I don't check my fax. But other than that, thanks everyone for joining. And I don't know if I'm popcorning it or if I'm passing it over to Donna, but either way, I'm going to pass it to Donna, my colleague and good friend. And she is not 6'2", no matter what she says. I know you can't tell on Zoom, but she is not 6'2" like she tried to tell me the first time. Donna, it's to you.
Thank you, Brant. I keep telling Brant that I should be his center. I'm 6'2" in my eyes, and it's easily people easily believe me, Brant. So I'll keep saying I'm 6'2", but I'm Donna Ramos Barsana, and I get to support all the students from Hawaii as well as Bay Area. And kind of all of you, through the process. I used to be a high school counselor myself, so there's a couple of reminders that I want to give you folks. First thing, if you haven't already done so, please fill out your FAFSA. If we ever have to have a conversation at all about finances or financial aid or bringing the cost down, we need to see that baseline. And even when I'm working with families, like, Don, I don't think we'll qualify. And hey, at least but we need to be aware of that. We need to be sure, because who knows, you may have not qualified for financial aid in the past for maybe another child, but maybe this is a different time and we're a different school than maybe your student was applying to initially. So please fill out the FAFSA, even if you don't think that you will qualify. The next thing is to, another thing that we have been sending communication on, if your student hasn't already done so, is send us the student to send in their social security number. Some of us have been communicating with you folks. I know it's a scary thing to give out, but we're always trying to find time to talk with the student over the phone to get that information, or from you folks. So whatever works best, we want to make sure it's secure, attach it to their file so that when Griffin and the financial aid office does send out those financial aid packages, we can link the student's acceptance with a financial aid package. So everything will link so that RN, we sent out the scholarship and awarded a student, and they will be able to attach that to their financial aid package. So please encourage your student or yourself to send us or reach out to us for your social security number. Another really big thing, students, is that please connect with your admissions counselor. We have all of us here today to support you. We're coming down to the last few months. You're coming down to last months of senior year and really through the college process. So we want to make sure we're with you every step of the way, setting up Calendly appointments with us or meetings on the phone or on Zoom to make sure that you're not missing out on anything, especially because we're so familiar with your regions. There may be some opportunities that we're aware of for scholarships or things that are happening on our campus that you need to be aware of, or connecting you with someone on our campus. So the more that we know, the more that we can help. So that's basically my update, is to make sure that you have some up-to-dates with filling out your FAFSA, making sure you're connecting with your counselor and reaching out to them, because they're going to be the greatest resource for you through these next steps. And hang on, we got this. We're coming through the tail end. We're seeing the end of the tunnel and the finish line, and we're here with you. And with that, I will pass this over to Uncle Jeff.
Hey, thanks a lot, Donna. In my eyes, you're actually as a formidable opponent as the Joker. So that's how big you are to me. So I'm Jeff Grundon. I'm a counselor. I'm actually the Senior Associate Director of Admissions here at the university, which means I'm the old guy, and I recruit. And I'm called Uncle Jeff because I'm from Hawaii, and we can go into that later. But plus, I'm older than everybody here on the campus. Anyway. I recruit in Washington County, Oregon, Clackamas County, Oregon, Yamhill County, Columbia County, and the fabulous central part of California. So my other role is athletic liaison, which means I work with my colleagues and coaches in recruiting. So my gift today, I guess you could call it, is to talk about the deposit. So the deposit, when the enrollment deposit, is something that every university is going to ask for if you're deciding to attend. For us, it's $400. And the amazing part about it is 300 of that goes towards your actual student's bill, and $100 of that they actually get back when they graduate, provided there's no outstanding bill. So I hope I get $100 back from my son because he's a junior here at Pacific. And he'll hopefully he graduates on time, but right now he behaves himself pretty well. So deposit deadline for us right now, we've moved it to June 1st. We understand all of the challenges and the craziness and how everybody's feeling about FAFSA and the anxiousness, etc. As Donna and everybody else has said, we are here to help and support you and your student throughout the whole process. So that comes whenever you're ready, whenever you're prepared. If you are prepared, as Brant said, to submit your enroll deposit now, then you can. And you can do that by going online or actually by contacting your admissions counselor. And we can actually take a credit card over the phone or a debit card over the phone. Trust me, it'll be secure. Everything's securely handled, of course. And you can actually call the admissions office as well if somebody's not available. But if your counselor is not available, please leave them a message because we would love to call you back and to do that over the phone. And it's a really exciting time. So if you're far away, when you come to campus for orientation in August, we want you to come in and sign Boxer. And then my colleague will go over that in a little bit, but that's a really cool thing to do. And you deposit because you are telling that college university, hopefully Pacific University, that you are coming. We really strongly encourage you do not deposit at more than one institution. Reason being is you are letting that school know you are coming, and so they are taking that into account and budgeting accordingly, not only for classes, but for our services, all the things that we do for services. So again, all you have to do is give us a call, go online. I know, Shelly, if you can throw that link in the chat, that'd be really awesome. Go online and do it. But again, we'd love to talk to you personally. So really excited about all your students and your interest in the university. And as a Boxer alum, along with Derek and Donna, and we cannot wait to have you be here on our campus. So thanks so much, guys. I'm turning it over to Devin Jones.
All righty. Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Jones, one of the undergraduate admissions counselors here at Pacific. In terms of territories, I have from about Kaiser, Salem South, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the depositing for students who are local, near Forest Grove, near Pacific University, and if local to you is Gresham, hey, we'll take that. We have an event, or we are going to have an event, what is called Admitted Student Days. We don't have the exact date yet, but it will be between April and May, in which we will have a time for students to come on campus and actually deposit in person. One of the advantages for this is that you'll be able to potentially meet maybe future friends, a future roommate, and future students who are coming to Pacific, along with some current students at Pacific, in which you'll get to ask any questions you want clarified. So the decision day or the admitted student day is also a great time to potentially view a residence hall that you have not been able to see. And you also get to take a picture and sign the Boxer statue. And I don't know about you, but I think it would be really cool to deposit, sign your name, and then not know that you had signed your name next to what could be your potential best friend 4 years later. So that could be a really good time. More details will be coming in the mail for all of you, and we will love to see you there if you can attend. So I am going to pass it off to our wonderful admissions counselor, Gracie.
Hello, friends. I'm Gracie. I get to support all of our amazing Washington students, Colorado students, and folks living abroad. I would love to highlight that there are still very fun, exciting things going on this spring, on and off campus to be excited for as admitted students. Like Devin said, we've got those admitted student days, But if we're getting close to the end of this meeting and you're thinking, Gracie, I want to attend every Pacific event you're throwing, first of all, thank you. Or maybe you'd like the opportunity to ask those questions you have in person or possibly meet your future roommate, be sure to check out, or actually also, you can also drop by and just get free food on us. Be sure to check out our travel calendars on our admissions page. Or reach out to your admissions counselor to see if they'll be near you this spring, whether that's on campus to get a chat or maybe a college fair pizza place or coffee shop near you. If by any chance you're not seeing an in-person event close to you, let us know and we'd be thrilled to meet you wherever you have a computer screen nearby through Zoom, if you can't make it to campus or one of our smaller events. Now I'm going to pass it on to our amazing, knowledgeable financial aid advisor, Griffin Shawless. Thank you, Griffin.
Alrighty, thank you, Gracie. And so again, my name is Griffin Shawless. I'm one of our undergrad financial aid counselors here. I see some familiar names and faces. So hello to those of you I might have seen at senior preview day or have emailed with. And I work with my counterpart, Stacy England, in our office, who is our other undergraduate financial aid counselor. And what we do for who folks' specific counselor is we just split the alphabet right down the middle. So I'm the counselor for students with last names A through L, and then Stacy works with students last names M through Z. And today I want to just hop on and give a little bit of an update to, you know, the big question mark for this year in many regards, right? Being financial aid. I know there were lots of changes with the FAFSA that gave folks some issues and have delayed, you know, the normal timeline and process that we typically would go through. And kind of as things stand right now, what's happening is the Department of Ed is starting to process those FAFSAs on their end. So we're starting to get some of that information here on our side currently. And right now, the timeline that I'm giving folks is expect to start getting notifications and hearing from our office within the first half of April here. And what's going to happen is you'll get a physical piece of mail. So you'll get a big white envelope that'll say Pacific University Office of Financial Aid. Inside the envelope will be a folder that'll have a whole bunch of different financial aid contact information, some important next steps, and some important other resources to tap into. Then the biggest piece and most important piece is actually in that folder will be a white slip of paper that'll have Pacific's direct costs for the year, all of the financial aid that your student is eligible for, and then down at the bottom in big bolded letters and numbers will be the remaining direct costs for the year. And that's the big thing to look at, right? And then from there, once you have those figures is when you get in touch with both myself and with Stacy, and we look at next steps, we look at potential additional resources and just see what we can do to help out for whatever questions or needs there might be in regards to financial aid. But I know, again, like Jeff said, and like everyone has said, I know it's been a point of nervousness and anxiety this year, but just know that you'll have that information in your hands here shortly within the next few weeks. And just once you get that, again, know that you have an amazing, amazing team here of financial aid counselors, of admissions counselors, who are happy to sit down and break down whatever your questions are, right? Whether that's super specific Pacific University nitty-gritty questions, or if you just have super general questions about, hey, we want to see if we did the FAFSA right, or if we need to edit something, get in touch with us and we're happy to help in any regard at all. But just, you know, stay connected. It looks like our emails for Stacy and myself just got entered in there in the chat. So get in touch with us, right? If you have any questions now while you wait, or once you have questions, once you actually receive that information, just know, you know, that there are people here at Pacific who are a designated resource for a field that can be a lot and that can be overwhelming. And know that, like Derek was saying, if you have a question about something, there's probably at least 30 other people, especially with financial aid, who also have that question. And in regards to financial aid, very specifically, there are no silly questions, right? There are things that surprise me even weekly. So just know to get in touch with us if you need anything else at all.
And then we will be wrapping up a little bit with kind of lunch with the Boxer and then making sure there's time for questions at the end. So don't think we haven't gotten to questions, but Justin did have one last piece of advice he wanted to share with you all as well.
Hey, everybody. So my name is Justin McRobert, and I work with our transfer students as my primary group here on campus. And so my little tidbit and reminder on this is you all have very smart and capable students that are taking AP and IB and college coursework. I want you to know that we can actually tell you ahead of time how those credits will come in. You don't have to wait until the summer or anything else, but we do need to see official transcripts or test scores to actually be able to give you that information. So that's a big encouragement because we'll tell students this, but as supporting members as well in this process to kind of say, hey, did you send in those AP scores? Did you send in those college transcripts? College transcripts will automatically happen and they will pop up on their Boxer Online, and they can see a credit to credit transfer evaluation off of those as well. So they earn the credit. We want to make sure that they're able to see what they're getting for those tougher classes.
Perfect. Well, thanks, counselors. This also kind of leads into a perfect example of, like Justin was talking about, you might have credit questions or AP or IB or how am I going to sign up for classes? That's what Lunch with the Boxer is going to continue to do through the spring. So we'll be here to host different groups on campus, like the Academic Advising Office, to go even more into detail on timelines, what that's going to look like, questions you might have there. So we really thank you all for being here. We will open this up for questions in just a second. But I also forgot to mention earlier, and it works out a little bit better this way. So we each have different groups of students we work with. The easiest way to think of mine is if you didn't fall into any of the other counselors' categories, congratulations, you work with me. So I cover lots of different areas, the entire East Coast, Midwest, Montana, Idaho, Alaska, the coast of Oregon, and a bunch of other places in between. So as always, please reach out to your admissions counselor, ask us lots of questions. That's what Lunch with the Boxer is going to be for, is one more opportunity for you to learn more about Pacific during your lunch hour, and then we'll record them and post them online for additional questions as well.